What's up, what's up, what's up, healers? Marina Simone in the house. We are live on Instagram. If you can kind of like see the phone just a little bit right here. We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and all the places. But at the end of the day, we're all healers. So drop me a high heel in those comments because you know how much I love them, even though because of being stuck in a house since 2020, I really haven't worn them as much. And I have to retrain myself on how to walk in them. Never did I think there'd be a day that I would have to say that out loud, but I am. But I'm coming to you from South Florida and it's not raining yet and there's no hurricane yet, so we're good. I think like the connection will be okay where I'm sitting in my dining room area of my house. What's up, Jan, Catherine, Elena in the house, and then we've got Lindsay and Claudra and Amber and Amy and all the things. So let me ask this quick question. How many of you let me stop that. Rewind. How many of you receive text messages when there are sales that are going on from some of your favorite places that you shop? How many of you? Drop me in the comments. And then I want you to drop the name of the place where you get texts from. So like I will get texts from some people that I buy courses from. I actually will get text messages from some of the clothing stores that I shop at in the mall, some of the online stores that I shop at. Me. I see a lot of me's that are popping in right now. Yeah. And I actually get texts about my prescriptions to renew as well because they don't want me renewing my prescriptions at other places, right? So with that being said, I want you to think about that marketing. Think about that marketing because network, we get from Marina Simone, I get text. Yep. That's why we're going to talk about that today, right? So here's the deal. I used to think I can't text my people. Like as a network marketer, nobody wants to hear from me. That's what I used to think. And so I didn't use it for the longest time. And since I've been using SMS texting for my marketing, and since bringing this into my team, it has been insane and ridiculous what it's done for our personal sales and what it's actually done for retention. So I got introduced to Jake, the CEO of Project Broadcast. I got introduced by his wife and I met his wife on Clubhouse. And when she introduced him to me, she was like, oh, you've already kind of using our service. I wasn't all in with it yet. I wasn't totally sold. And when I got connected to Jake and when he understood what us as network marketers, what our goal is with our customers and what our goal is with retention and with our teams and duplication, I was blown away by how he would pivot based on what we as network marketers were really looking for. So I'm excited to interview him, bring him on. Amanda says she loves it so much when I text her back. Well, boo, it's me. It's me that's talking to you. You know, it's my work line. I love it. So I'm going to bring Jake on. Jake, what is up? Thank you for taking the time to being here with us because you just seriously have changed both my businesses, my brand, and you've changed my network marketing business with the software, with the service. And I'm so grateful for it. So first off, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I have a huge heart for this industry. My wife's been in it for about a decade, and you know, our CTO's wife is in direct sales, and our chief support officer, his wife is in direct sales. All these folks are in different companies, and I just have a huge heart for people that are out there, you know, building their own business, hustling, grinding, showing that like they can be their own boss and go grow a business, and we just want to be there to really support them in that journey. So I appreciate that you even use it and you like it. That means a lot to us. So
we love it. I love it. Can you kind of take me to one, like when did you start putting this together for Project Broadcast? And what were the main reasons you're like, we need to create this product because it's a demand that isn't being filled?
So we built a product years ago for network marketing and ended up selling it to a network marketing company. So we're always looking for ways to add value to this industry. And my wife and my CTO's wife are both looking for a texting platform in 2016. And they found a platform. We didn't invent, text marketing. They found a platform, but from our perspective, it was expensive and we didn't actually think it was that great a software. And coming from owning a software consulting business for over a decade where we build really high-end software for big brands, we're like, we could totally, build something better. But the key was, how do you make it affordable? Because, if a big leader like my wife or you, Marina, if you find a tool that works, who cares? Because if you can't actually duplicate that to other people in your organization, it actually doesn't matter. So our big goal was, how do we beat everyone else in technology for our industry that we care about, but do it at a price that makes it replicatable and duplicatable into the organization? And we launched in October 2017. So we spent about a year building the first version of Project Broadcast before we ever launched it to a single customer. Oh, I lost you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. By the way, you don't know how to have to use anything technology-wise with Project Broadcast. There's literally a tutorial for absolutely everything. And if I can figure it out, that's another piece I want to dive into. Like, you can figure it out, which I love. Really quick, if you guys are like, I don't have Project Broadcast, screenshot this link. So when we're done with this, you can go paste this in your browser and you can go and check it out and get your own account. So I love that you talked about the duplication part, because a lot of times leaders will implement things into their organizations and it's not duplicatable, right? Like these landing pages and these massive marketing kind of guru funnels and all the things. And you truly did make it simple, especially coming from TikTok, right? Like, dude, you created something so, like, the way you've made it so simple for us to be able to grab our leads off of TikTok and bring them onto Project Broadcast has been massive. For me, I grabbed 900 leads from TikTok alone in 30 days.
I tell people, like, one of the things that, so as a technologist, I'm in technology all day, right? I've been in technology for over 2 decades. And one of the things that concerns me for businesses is having their influence locked. And I explain that to people by saying, like, let's say you're on Instagram and let's say you've got, whatever, 20,000 followers on Instagram. Well, they're really locked in Instagram, right? You can only mobilize them through Instagram. And the great thing about text marketing is you're creating another list of influence, but you own the list. You have their name, their phone number, whatever other information you're collecting. So using TikTok and IG Reels and even Clubhouse, like, putting your phone number in your bio in those different places for people to text you, to connect to you, is now unlocking them out of one platform and making them so that you can mobilize them across any platform, which I think is really, really powerful.
I was just going to ask you, how important do you feel like, because I feel like we've leaned on social media so much that we forgot that we don't own social media, right? So what have been your thoughts around that, to kind of helping people in network marketing to understand, like, we don't own these platforms?
Well, my 2 biggest things with social media, and obviously I'm on social media and we leverage it. My thing is, it's their platform. So really your audience is really theirs. You don't own the audience. But I kind of don't like that, depending on what industry you're in, what you're selling, the social platform decides whether or not you can. Right? If you're trying to send Instagram messages or Facebook messages or using Apple Business Messages and trying to send messages about your product, they may not like it and they may not allow them to go through. And that irks me a little bit because it's my contact and I want to talk to them about, the products that I have, and they want to hear about them. And I also think I really do believe this, and not because I own a texting marketing platform. I think it's less personal in that and this is how I salt test everyone. If you open your phone and you literally look at your email, your texting, your Facebook Messenger, and look at the badges that are on each of them, in almost every case, texting has the least number of unread, unopened messages, which means you will make sure you read a text a lot faster than you go and read an IG DM or even a Facebook message. I think it's where people communicate.
It's true. It's so true, because the first thing that we check, even if it is our social media, it doesn't matter because that's not a priority to answer back. Whereas if someone has our direct line, that's a different conversation, right? Like, we're actually opening them up. And it's really hard to ignore a text message. I don't know about you guys, but when I see a certain text messages I haven't read, that gives me mass anxiety. Drop anxiety in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. So I'm like, no, I'm going to open them. Even if I'm not going to read it, I'm going to open it. And then it's like, ooh, there's an emoji in there. I'm probably going to pay a little bit more attention to it, right?
The other thing nice about texting is it's typically easy to respond, right? Like, sometimes you get like a Facebook message and it's like a novel and you're like, oh man, I gotta actually go schedule some time to read this and respond to it. And most of the time text messages are shorter, which means your response and engagement can be quicker. So people just typically read and respond to texting. Actually, a quick stat is that like email, for example, has a read rate of about 15%. Open rate's 20%, read rate's 15%. Texting has a read rate of 98%, and 96% of all text messages are read in the first 2 minutes of delivery.
Okay, I want you guys to understand what he just said. And I shared that crazy statistic on when I was using Project Broadcast for my team, because I wanted them to understand, like, I know this might be an extra step that normal network marketing trainers don't teach or leaders are not teaching. But when you have 20% from email go all the way up, that means if they're ignoring the company emails that are getting sent to your customers for retention, there's a 98%, 96, let's just say it's 90% for fun, chance they're going to see what you're messaging them, and it creates better communication, better opportunity for conversation. And that was where I was like, oh, if I'm doing this for my network marketing business, I need to be doing this for my brand. Like, no brainer. Like today I sent out a text to 5,000 people.
Yes.
Got a wait list. 5,000 people today got a text from me about a wait list for what I have coming up next month. It's incredible. And my open rate for my emails, are not that high because I have 40,000 people on an email list, right? So I love it. So powerful. So powerful.
Well, I think like you said, you use small numbers. If you send 100 emails, about 15 people read it. If you send 100 text messages, 98 people read it. That's, you can literally send, you can work basically 5 times as less, right, in terms of getting engagement. Because it takes me 500 emails to get 100 people to read it, or less than 100 people. So that engagement's key. And the thing that I love about texting is that it is conversational. Like, it's just a conversational medium. If you get an email, same kind of thing. It could be really long. You may not have time to reply to it, so you don't. And the person can be really verbose when they send you an email, so you don't reply to it. But when you're texting, it just has this psychological effect of conversation. Like the medium itself is conversational.
Yeah.
So you're smart about what you send and when you send it and what topics you're sending on. It doesn't have to just be a sale or incentive. It's product education. It's business tips. It's, 90-day hustle programs that you're doing that you want to keep people accountable. Like, there's so many, what I call opportunity lists to reach out to people that are low friction, that you can easily be texting people for prospecting or existing customers to give them value.
Yeah. And I love that too, because I think that was the biggest block I had, was like, oh, what? So I'm just going to be messaging my customers only when there's a sale, or only when I want them to buy, because from clothing stores, that's what you will get, right?
I know.
That's what you're getting, 50% off. It's a Labor Day sale or this or that. And I decided this was a great way for me to really connect with my people and figure out their pain points and ask them for help when I want to go create content. Like, it's so awesome. And our list is just massively getting so much bigger. So it literally will take me about 3 hours to respond back to everyone. So I'm very specific with what I'm sending out, but it's been awesome for me too, because I feel like I'm making that impact. If I am selling something, it's because they really want it.
Yep.
And I love that.
It's like, I watch your content all the time, and like, you are really big on constantly helping people understand that whole sliding into someone's DMs with a "Hey girl" that you haven't talked to in 6 months, and then asking them to buy something it's gross.
Yeah.
And that same thing, no matter what the channel is, texting just being another channel, it's the same thing, right? How do you add value to people so that at some point in the future, when there is an opportunity to buy, you can then ask them, but you don't start with that. And you certainly don't only send that, because then you're no different than the "Hey girl, buy my stuff. Haven't seen you since high school and we're 40 now," right?
Yeah.
That's not cool.
And hey, do you want to make money?
Yeah.
Make money from your phone, because everybody needs to now.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, Jake, we have so many questions that are coming in. Let's see how many we can bang out before we go. Is that cool?
Yeah.
So Kathy, she's a leader in the industry too. She's awesome. She's incredible. She's actually going to be on a big stage soon. And I know she uses Project Broadcast. How many broadcasts can you send at one time?
We don't limit. So there are rules around how fast you can send messages on a given phone number, but you can schedule a broadcast message to as many as you want. We have many customers with literally hundreds of thousands of contacts who will schedule a message to 20,000 people like it's nothing. So there's no limit. Your plan that you select really tells you how many messages per month you can send. Our entry-level plan is $15. It gives you what we call 500 credits, which means if you sent a message to 500 people, that would be 500 credits. But there's plans that go up, I think, to 100,000 credits and beyond. So there's a plan for everyone.
That's me. That's me right there. I'm like, oh, wait, can I get more? How many more can I get? I love it. So yes, texting is conversational. Can you share message templates with your team?
You can. There's a feature in Project Broadcast called bundles that allows someone to actually create content, create a bundle for that content. And that bundle can have templates, keywords, campaigns. It can have landing pages, which is a new feature that we rolled out. And then you can share that with other people, and it creates an exact copy of it for them. So they can even go change it after they import it and make it their own. It doesn't affect your original one. So yes, you can do that.
I love that. And we do that with our team. So it's very simple for our team when they come in. We're sharing bundles with them, and it's very simple, like literally to figure out, so they don't have to come up with their own text.
Their content. Yeah.
Yep. I love it. Ryan says, can you explain the credits in terms of understanding what package to purchase? I think you kind of just said that.
Yeah, I think what you want to think about, Ryan, is when you're figuring out which plan to get, just think about how many contacts you have or how active you want to be in prospecting. So, if you've got a team, I'm making numbers up, but say you have a team of 50 people and you're like, you know what, I'm going to send a message a couple times a month to my team, and I'm going to do a little bit of prospecting on my social platforms. I would probably start with the starter plan because you get 500 credits a month, and whatever you don't use rolls over. So you don't lose them. They just continue to roll over. Now, if your team is larger or you want to be really active in your prospecting, then you would want a plan that's got more credits in it for that, to sign up for, so you have them each month.
I love it. Samantha says, if someone responds back to text and you answer, does that count as a credit?
Oh, that's a great question. So it used to, yes. As of now, no. So we used to charge a credit in chat, we call it. So let's say you send out a message to 100 people, and let's pretend, Marina responds back to, one of my broadcast messages, and I send a message back to her. So we're just, one-on-one chatting. That used to cost credits, and now on all the plans, it does not. We call that unlimited chat. So your credits are for when you use keywords, campaigns, schedule broadcasts, but one-to-one conversation doesn't use credits. That's a great question, actually. And I want to add on to that really quick. I know you have more questions. We added that just for you guys because I literally was getting messages from people, and I was seeing posts in our 30+ Facebook groups where people would say, hey, how often do you tell the person you're talking to that you're going to text them from your real phone so that you're not using your credits? And I'm like, why would you do that? It's so bad for the customer. We don't want the customer to even know this isn't your real phone. This is your business number. So we added unlimited chat so that you don't have to think about sending that heart emoji back and it costing you credit, right? We don't want you to be thinking about
how powerful is that right there? You guys drop some freaking money signs in the comments, because that is such a great example as a company not caring about the bottom line, but caring about their actual customers. Like, you just literally right there alone, you have me, right? Because that's something you knew that we were struggling with, and you fixed it for us, even if it costed you credits with us. I appreciate you for that. All right, big question. You know it was coming, right?
I get these questions a lot.
So, obviously there's other platforms that are all over, but Project Broadcast is something that us leaders are really pushing. And, I know you guys are working on this, right?
Yes.
You guys definitely have a plan in action. So
yeah, most people don't know it's actually very complicated to do true international messaging. Meaning, let's pretend you have an iPhone and let's pretend I have an Android. Meaning, when you send me a text, it's going to really go as a real text message, right? If I live in, say, Australia, and you live in America and you try to send me an MMS, like a text with a picture, very high likelihood I don't ever get the message, because international MMS is not very good actually. So what a lot of companies do is they will send just an SMS with like a link to the picture, but even that is really brittle. So we're looking at ways to expand PB globally, and we actually have a plan in place on how to tackle that. I just don't have an ETA on when it will be ready, but I promise you it's something we're working on.
I keep telling you guys, just be patient, just be patient, just be patient.
Yes, we are constantly rolling out features.
No, you guys really are. Okay, so here's a great question. Do you always need to give the opt-out to make sure they go through?
It's also a great question. Most network marketers and direct sellers are used to texting from their personal phone. But when you're using a platform like Project Broadcast or any platform that's like Project Broadcast, you're really doing what's called commercial messaging. And when you're doing commercial messaging, there's two things you really want to include as often as possible. And I can't say in every message because there's no rule, right? AT&T, Sprint, Verizon, T-Mobile, they decide what comes on their network through their spam filtering. But two things they look for in all messaging is your brand present, and do you provide opt-out language? And in Project Broadcast, you can include our default opt-out language, but you can also craft your own and include your own opt-out language so that it's more your voice. So I wouldn't say it's a requirement, but I would say to have the best deliverability, you want to include it as often as possible.
Yeah, one thing I'll say is that I make it sound very me. Every time I'm like, P.S. if you really want me to go away and never text you again, insert sad face with a sad emoji, reply back, stop, even though I know you really don't want to. Like, I will legit say that, and then I'll make it shorter, longer, whatever, because I let them know I don't want them to go away.
Right.
I don't want them to feel like, oh, okay, fine, she doesn't really care if I'm here. I want them to know, like, I really care that you're here and I respect you. But if I get annoying, it's okay. You can make me go. You can tell me. Whatever. You can tell me. I understand.
But I think what people find out, right, is once they realize it's actually you on the other end, you don't get as many stops. I think if your messaging is very, like, I don't know the right word, but like, you know, if it's just spammy, you know what I mean? Like, we get this thing in Texas called a Valpak, and it's literally an envelope, and only thing in it is like 50 to 100 coupons to stores. And I am convinced there's only two types of people on this entire planet: the people that get it and immediately throw it in the trash, or those who get it, open it, thumb through it about 10 seconds, and then throw it in the trash. So, you know, if your content looks like a Valpak, they're going to want to say stop because they don't actually think it's a real person. So using your own voice is super crucial. It's very, very key to having success. Just like you do in any social platform. It should be your voice, not someone else's.
Yep. So anytime you get scripts, right? Like we have coming up, we have our Double Down on Black Friday. So we have this, you know, to help our leaders and help those that have Black Friday sales promos, right? So I do this every October, and we use Project Broadcast as a way to create a wait list. And so I'll have scripts that I'm going to be giving in a bundle that I'll be giving to all of my healers that join that workshop. But I'm going to encourage you to use your own language, use your own spice, use your own emojis. It's got to be on brand for you, because otherwise it's just going to sound weird and it's not going to sound like you. Okay, so I actually love this question because you are in Canada, aren't you?
We are. We're in the US and Canada.
So a lot of carriers here in Canada stop a lot of marketing text from being received. Does it work well in Canada?
It does work well in Canada. Here's the key, and you know, every country has their own rules around spam. Canada's actually got even more stringent spam rules than the US. So what I typically advise anyone, not just people in Canada, but even in the US, is to always use opt-in. Like, you want to follow what well, not just me, it's just called permission-based marketing. If you want to be able to send out like deals and promos to people, you need to post on your different social platforms of, hey, if you want to get deals and promos, text me the word deals. You're going to respond with, hey, you said you wanted to get deals. I want to give them to you. Respond with, yes, send me deals, which is yet another keyword. So you're doing basically an on-platform double opt-in, which is going to greatly improve your ability to send messages. You should never just upload a bunch of contacts and then send out a blast message to them. That is like, if you want to find out the quickest way to get blocked by a carrier, that would be the way. right? If you just randomly send a message to people that you've never messaged and haven't asked you for any content, probably going to get you blocked.
It's true. It's true because I didn't understand it in the beginning and I was just like, and now I'm like, oh, no, that's not how this works.
That's not how it works.
Create specific keywords for specific people. And so if you have someone that's coming in for deals, great. But if you have somebody that's coming in for free something and then you're sending them the same kind of, here's all the deals, at the end of the day, you're probably going to piece some people off. That's for sure. Yep. Kathy says, did I understand correctly? Project Broadcast can be accessed 100% from your desktop.
100%. We have a fully robust web application. So for many of your browsers, you can log into projectbroadcast.com. We also have an iOS and an Android native application. My wife, for example, typically keeps her iPad Pro on her desktop with PB on it with a keyboard when she's at the desk, and she leaves her laptop for doing other things. But yes, 100% accessible from the web.
I love using it from the desktop because my thumbs, from just texting and all things all day. So I love to be able to come on and I can knock them out really quick by even just going through. Desktop version is great, Kathy. Both versions, I use both, but I love that I'm able to actually do it from a desktop. Yes,
I think the desktop version is really good for content creation. Building content is so much easier on the desktop than trying to do that from your phone. And the phone is great when you're on the go. You're in the pickup line for the kids. You're at the grocery store and you send out a blast to 500 people and people are responding and you're like, oh, I need to respond back to those people. That's when I think the mobile app works great.
I love this question because I think it's about a bunch of everyone. So how can you give an example of how you can utilize this for your network marketing business?
All right, this is where I can talk for days. Here's what I want you to think about, Samantha, okay? And again, this is where I say I have a huge passion for this industry, okay? I have this concept that I call opportunity lists. And an opportunity list is a low friction reason to reach out to people. And I really believe in my heart there's an infinite number of things that go on that list. And only one of them is asking people to buy something. So let's talk about network marketing and direct sales. How are you doing follow-up when people buy stuff? Do you have a follow-up mechanism? You could use a PB to create a 2-2-2 follow-up system, 2-day, 2-week, 2-month follow-up system. What are you doing for prospecting? When you do these awesome reels and TikToks on your products, do you ever have a message that says, hey, if you want to learn more about them, text, Acme Unicorns to this phone number, and then they get dripped content on them, driving them to make a sale? Or how do you communicate with your business leaders? Do you send out weekly business tips to help them become better leaders? Do you do consultant or distributor onboarding? When you sign up a new person, do you have a system in place to actually teach them how to become a good direct seller or network marketer? If you really sit for not a very long period of time, I think you could come up with a massive list of ways and reasons to reach out to people that's very low risk. If you were to reach out to everyone in your team that hit a new rank, just to say, I can't believe it's been so great working with you. You've hit a new rank. I'd love to talk more about what your goals are this next year. When's a good time to talk? No one's going to get ticked off that you said they did a good job. Or if you send out a message to your big spenders, just as a gratitude of, hey, thanks for participating in my business. What's been your favorite product this year? Probably not going to get upset. Those are all low friction reasons to reach out to people. And there's a ton more. That's what I could do an entire call on. I love thinking about strategizing the business side of well, what would I use it for? And I'm like, oh, glad you asked.
Yeah. By the way, I accidentally just pasted something in the comments, so totally ignore that because I was typing and over here we're copying and pasting something. So just ignore that. But I love that question because, the biggest thing for me is, how can I create automation? How can I take what was taking time away from my kids to reply? How can I make that automated and sift and sort through leads and see who's really serious and who's not? And so that's been something that's been such a blessing. And I'm so grateful for that. And yes, Kathy, you can do it for your freebies, wink, wink, because it works with Zapier. I'm just going to put that out there too.
Yeah.
So you were like, what's that? Ignore, if you're not building a brand, ignore what I just said. Okay. But yes, you can absolutely do that.
Or even if people are doing vendor events, you can literally use Project Broadcast to set up, a page at your table for a raffle where they text the word raffle to your phone number. It responds with a form that they fill out where they got to give you the first name and their last name. And once they fill out the form, it applies another keyword that says, thanks for participating in the raffle. And guess what? You're not taking like, a piece of paper and transcribing poorly written names and numbers into Excel, uploading it to random.org to pick a raffle winner, which I've seen a gazillion times. You could create a contest in Project Broadcast, add all the people to it that filled out the form, and randomly pick a winner. So if you're doing team incentives, or even, like I said, a raffle at a vendor event, PB has that kind of functionality.
Yes. And so this is great, Robin. Thank you for asking this. So for prospecting, exactly what he just said, like you're getting a bunch of leads for raffles or giveaways. If your upline does giveaways on certain product giveaways, right? I want to say this though, when you're opting people in from TikTok and Reels, be very mindful that if you're putting in the actual copy, like text the word blank to blank and all of that, you want to make sure that it makes sense with what you're actually doing. So you can check out my TikToks and how I do it. It's very simple. You can see how I do keywords in the captions, and you can just model
and
what
you could even use it like what I've seen a lot of direct sellers do recently meaning like, during COVID, is they've been going crazy over these things called text parties, where in Project Broadcast, we have this concept called a time-lapse campaign, where you can schedule like, say, 6 messages, one every 10 minutes. So they'll get, 6 messages over the course of an hour. They'll do a reel or a TikTok or a Facebook post where they talk about their product, or they've got a picture, or they're just, showcasing their product, and they tell people to text, whatever, the word party to their phone number. And literally it delivers them like a mini party over an hour, over 6 messages, with the idea of they're funneling them to that final message that gives them the link to then go sign up and buy their product, which has been really
You're taking Facebook events off Facebook and putting them into SMN text.
Yes.
Thank you.
And here's what I love, right? It's evergreen. Like, I think what marketing people have to learn is the concept of evergreen content. Yes. So if I sell Acme unicorns and I go create, an hour, 6 messages over an hour time-lapse campaign to sell people Acme unicorns, guess what? That campaign's good today. It's good next week. It's good 6 months from now. My job now is just to go market to my influence to get them to text me and get that content delivered to them. I don't have to keep creating that text class over and over. It's just there. It's evergreen.
Evergreen means, guys, while you sleep. When we talk about true residual income and we talk about true making money while you sleep, that means you have to have systems that are in place. Yes. Right? Systems in place and systems that can duplicate for someone, who has never done this before. And I truly believe that with Project Broadcast, you can absolutely do this. Yes, Kathy, you can share all of this with your team with bundles. We do it all the time. In fact, you're in the same company as me, and I have bundles that we've shared in MLife. So yeah. And here's the cool thing. You guys want to learn how to use it better. Don't you give credits when somebody's watching your trainings?
We do. So we actually incentivize you to educate yourself on how to use the product. We started Project Broadcast Web School. You can go to training.projectbroadcast.com once you get your account, and you create an account on the training website as well. And if you complete the training courses, each course you complete gives you credits. So, we're paying you to learn how to use the tool that's going to help you grow your business.
I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. Yeah. I'm going to put it in the Project Broadcast. I'm just going to put where you guys can sign up in the comments so you can grab your account and then go do the training so you get some free credits. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think the first training is called Quick Start. That's the one you want to do first. And it gives you, if I recall, 100 credits.
Oh, only 100? That means you can text 100 people.
Just for doing a 15, 20-minute training. Yeah.
Okay. Screenshot that, you guys. It's kind of a no-brainer. Yeah. I know. OMG. Marla said I started it. Ryan's like, that's so awesome. How cool is that? Yeah. I mean, again, this is just proof that you truly, that you've already solved a problem for us, but you truly want to help us continually solving problems. And you're doing that. And so I'm so great. How do we know how many credits we have?
Another great question. When you log into the app, we call it the More tab. It's like the 3 little lines, hamburger menu thing. If you click that, there's a feature called Stats, and that's going to tell you how many available credits you have. Because again, if they roll over, that's going to continue to grow as you have an account with Project Broadcast. And if you're signing up with Marina's link, just also know that because you're using her link, and I don't know if I even told her this, you get 500 credits added to your account when you sign up. So
no, I didn't know that. There you go. There you go.
Let's pretend you sign up for the starter plan, which is 500 credits each month. So if you sign up with her link, you're going to get your 500 credits for the starter plan, and then we're going to add 500 bonus credits to your account. So you'll actually start out with 1,000 credits.
Okay, no brainer. Hello, go sign up and get it done. Yes, do I get a little bit of an affiliate? Sure, who cares? I'm doing this because it made my business that much easier. Okay,
that's what I tell people is it like, yes, we have an affiliate program, but at the same time, when your organization is using it to grow their business, that's actually where you get really paid from it,
Yeah, no, it's absolutely incredible because every month getting blocked on Facebook for copying and pasting messages out to people. Now with Facebook groups, barely anyone sees our posts, right? And our notifications, everything. It's making it harder on social media to talk to even our direct customers that want the information. And so this has made it that much easier. Look at this. Wow. Holy crap. 4,462 credits. I need to figure out how I can use this better.
You need to think about your opportunity list. Again, infinite number of ways to reach out to people with low friction. How many gratitude messages have you sent this month? How many times have you reached out to a new consultant? Like, think about this, guys. Like, so I even think about like birthday messages. Are you sending birthday messages? Because I think you should have 2 different birthday messages. You got the ones for your team and the ones for your customers. And your gift to your team should always be your time. Like, you should be sending out a birthday message where literally you say, oh my God, it's your birthday. I'm so excited. I'd love to chat, about what your goals are over the next year for the business. When's a good time to talk? That's a very low friction message. You're wishing them a happy birthday and you're offering your time to help them grow their business. And for your customers, maybe you offer some type of incentive.
So I will say this, you guys don't need a Project Broadcast training from me because they have them when you sign up. They have everything you need. Now, how I use it with my systems, that's different. I'll be matching and giving you my scripts and stuff for Black Friday, but you don't need a trainer to teach you how to use Project Broadcast because they do it for you. Like, I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, you can figure all the things out. Strategies, pay attention. There's so many cool things that you can do, as my 2-year-old screams in the background. Ryan asks, can I do this with the 3-3-3 method? Duh. Absolutely. You can absolutely use this with my 3-3-3 method.
Yeah, I think anytime you're reaching out to people, like another one I'm kind of big on right now is onboarding. And I mean this in the nicest way, okay? Yeah. We are all really, really good at making initial relationship with people and getting them either to buy our product or join our team. We suck at following up with them to make them be successful. But you know the stuff that needs to happen. So like you should have some type of onboarding campaign that literally when you sign up a new distributor or consultant, whatever the terminology is in your business, you should add them to that campaign where it's giving them a couple messages a week on what IPA should they be doing this week? What, have they checked out this other product area that the company offers, what they should be posting on social media, just as a way to help them on ramp to the business. And guess what? That's evergreen. Every time you sign someone up to do the business, you drop them in the campaign and then you're there to respond to them when they have questions, but you've got this system in place to help educate them for you. So I think anytime you need to reach out to a team member or a customer, especially if you need to do it multiple times, PB works fantastic for that.
Yeah. So you guys, I don't want it to keep you any longer because I'm just so grateful that you spent 40 minutes with us. Guys, the link is right there, momsandheels.com/project broadcast. And if you want to be on the wait list for the Black Friday, just what I've got going on and how we're going to utilize Project Broadcast, just pay attention to the emails because they're everywhere. I think it's like in the link in my bio somewhere. I don't know. The waitlist link is absolutely everywhere. And if you get emails from me, just pay attention so you can get on that because we are going to literally use Project Broadcast for absolutely everything that we're doing for the Black Friday. If there was one thing, okay, so say someone's on the fence. They're like, it just won't work for me. Mm-hmm. It won't work for me. What would you say to them?
Have to be PC about it?
No.
Okay, then I would say that's BS.
Yeah.
Because that's saying that texting as just a communication channel doesn't work. Do you text your mom, your sister, your best friend? Yes. You can literally sign up for Project Broadcast and not do keywords, not do campaigns, only do, I'm going to have contacts in here and I'm going to use this as a business phone number to communicate with my customers. I'm only going to send one-to-one messaging. It's just a business line. So I say that argument is BS. Yeah.
Yeah. Drop poop in the comments section because that's what he's saying it is. And I agree 5,000% because I'd rather text than get on the phone.
Yes.
I just did a TikTok. I'm going to bring it over to Reels, but where I'm literally like, my voicemail is like, text me. But don't call me. It's text me because I don't want to talk on the phone. I'd rather text.
And that's why I think because I've gotten that question before. People are like, well, I don't know if it'll work for me. And I'm like, well, but you text. Oh, all the time. Well, that's all this is.
There you go.
That's all you're doing.
There you go. I love it. Well, healers, I'm like blown away by this interview. So excited. We know we're going to turn this into a blog because it was so powerful. Jake, thank you so much for being here. Hold on. I'm going to hang up with the healers. Thank you so much, healers, for being. We love you so much. Let me hang up here on Instagram Live. Not that I really know how to do Instagram Lives, but I make it. Yep, there we go. And now. And we love you. Bye.